Hey guys, welcome to the deep dive. So today we are going to be going through AEYE, Audio Eye Inc. And these guys are a technology company. They do software, internet, print, broadcast, and other media. And I kind of didn't understand this description of what they did. So I looked up what they do this Audio Eye software. And it basically helps with web accessibility solutions that helps businesses meet digital compliance guidelines as set by the ADA, WCAG, and other regulations. So these guys are kind of like, if you have a website or some other media and you need to meet compliance, these guys help make sure that you are accessible to people with disabilities like dyslexia, colorblindness, epilepsy, and others. And they were incorporated in 2005, and they're based out of my home state here in Arizona. They're in Tucson, which I do not live down there. That's a nice little college town, though. So we're going to be going through their chart here, and we're starting at the end of 2019 and 2020. And so most people know about the COVID March 2020 dip. And so we're kind of going over ground that many of us traders have been through. We know that after 2020, everything just rips higher. Like after March 2020, everything just goes straight up. So we know when the bottom is. We don't really have to think about, when's the bottom going to be? We know. And so really this video is going to be about, can we capture the different up moves as they happen? What do the consolidations look like? And we have these earnings that are actually, we're not going back into the 90s where we don't have earnings or news. We have earnings and we have news that we can look at as we go. So maybe that will give us some indications for learning. Now, the one thing about their earnings is they're always negative. And negative earnings don't have growth numbers. You can see revenue over here is positive, so you can see their positive revenue growth quarter over quarter. But negative earnings don't have these. I guess the calculation for growth is a little bit strange. So I wrote down what they look like. And so starting here in March 20. So this would be this would be reported here. But starting here, this is negative 6%. Then we go 32% positive, 41% positive, 55%. So I'll call those out as we go. So let's look at the chart. We can see from here, the ADR is pretty high, 6, 13, 8, 5, 7. So we're in a pretty volatile stock. Volume, super low in here. You have volume days, which are 1,000 shares. And then volume's obviously picking up at the start of 2019. This is kind of where we're starting here. We have a nice flag here to start. This is picture perfect. But again, we're at the end of, we're starting right around the beginning of January, so we know that there's a big down move coming. So we're kind of just going to go until we hit that. But maybe we can get an idea of how the stock trades in that time. And it's trading pretty orderly. I do like how it's trading. It's not super thin or volatile. It is thin here, but it looks pretty good. It definitely looks better than back here right now. But it was just going sideways as the market was going up, so showing some relative weakness. And here we're getting the down move. You can see the main market down here is dipping hard. And I think let's see, where are we? We're March 17th here, so a couple more days until the bottom. So really this is right around where the bottom is in the market. Yeah. March 23rd. That was kind of right around where the bottom was, right? March 24th or something along those lines. Huge volume up day there. Let's see. That's March 23rd of 2020. Is there some news that day? March 23rd, 2020. Audio Eye EPS beats by 15 cents. Beats on revenue. Let's see what this has to say. GAAP EPS of negative 97 cents. Beats by 15 cents. Revenue, 90% growth year over year, so really good looking revenue there. And the stock really likes it. This is just an explosion higher. All the moving averages are together coming down. So let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can catch some good moves in this. Because we know we're going up up from here. That's the bottom here, March 23rd. It's amazing that the earnings were on the bottom day. I mean, that's just wild. All right. Let's see what we get. Going sideways. I mean, this is a great looking flag so far, right? I mean, that's exactly what we want to see. Maybe we zoom in a little bit closer. Oh no. Auto. Let's zoom in a little bit closer here. Yeah, now we can really see what we're looking at. So yeah, we're going sideways here. We have this bar, which is kind of strange looking, but I mean, you take a breakout over the 200 here. Again, I don't like these flags. These bottom flags, like I've learned in my trading, these bottom flags are some of the lowest probability plays that you can do. Like a stock has come down, 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 and then it spikes up and then it goes sideways, but it doesn't spike up above the 200. Like if this had spiked up to here and gone sideways, it would be like, all right, now we're talking. But these little spike ups where they're still below the main moving averages and they go sideways, they're not great. So even though I think that this flag would be probably pretty good to play, I know that in my own trading, I wouldn't take it. This is a great example right here. Look at this. It's a nice little flag right in the 20, breaks out on this day, and it just fails. I mean, I've seen this pattern over and over and over and over again, and they always fail. Look at this. This is nice. Look at how tight that got, and then it broke out higher and just failed. You really want, I think, to take the flags that are in really momentum-driven stocks that are breaking out above these long-term moving averages. So, but I have no doubt that this flag will work. There's the breakout day. Yeah, it's looking great. That was the breakout day there. Went up, just looking beautiful. And so sometimes these flags do work, especially when the whole market bottoms in an epic fashion that it's going to make a run now for the next 12 months. All right. See if we can get some sideways action. So it's bouncing off the 10 there. Yeah, this is a nice little short flag. And so in a really strong momentum stock, you're getting higher lows. Your flag is really only 9 bars, which is, man, right at the bare minimum. Let's delete this drawing. But we did have that tight inside day. It's riding the 10. It's exactly what you want to see. So let's take a buy over 780, the high here at 780. So let's take a buy at 781. All right, we came down, opened below the 10. Well, this is actually making the flag look a lot better. Although, now that it's below the 10, I don't know about that. Can't quite get above, but let's still have the same. Let's actually put our entry above 775. So 776 will be our entry. All right, so we're in that day. Not a bad little flag. Could be a little bit tighter, but definitely like it. Let's have our stop below the low of this big bar, 717. So, what are we risking here? So 776, 776. Okay, we're risking 70 cents, let's say. And just to give us a picture of what we're looking at, this is when earnings were released for December. So we're probably this earnings right here. And this would have been negative 6%. So not great, negative 6%, but probably better. Oh no, that was way better. Huh. Yeah, negative 6%. So earnings, nothing to get too excited about, but let's just keep going and see what happens. All right, we got stopped out. All right, negative 1R. And I think the breakout should have been on this day here, 5-1. That really should have been when the break, if it was going to keep going, because it was riding this moving average and then it violated it, and it really needed to come down to the 20, or at least let the 20 catch up a little bit before that flag was taken. But now we have kind of this really a much better looking flag. So I think we're taking a breakout over 8 if we can do it. All right, there we are. We're in again, and our stop's going to be below this low at 711. So let's say we're doing 90 cent risk. And let's see what happens. All right, we made new highs. It's getting very volatile. It reclaimed the 10. Yeah, looking good. All right, next day is going to be the third day. So probably going to take off, and volume looks really good too. Volume did not look as good on this day, this breakout day. We're actually underneath average volume. That little green line down there is average, like 30-day average volume or something. Yeah, 30-day. And so, yeah, volume is actually looking much better here than back here. Looking good. So let's hold for another day, and we'll decide what to do. Whew. Yeah, it would have been, I was thinking about saying, let's get rid of some part of it at the open, but man, that's too bad. I think we're going to still get, let's see, we have about 15-cent profit in here where it closed now. And it looks like we might be making a range between these old highs and these new highs. So let's get out of 50% if it pops up to 845. Yeah, it did. All right, so we're out of 50% at 845, which is about 45-cent gain on, so that's a plus 0.5 R on 50%. Not the best start, but hopefully we can hold the rest of this for a close below the 20 is what we'll look at getting out at. Oh my goodness, didn't close below the 20. All right, close below the 20 at 756. So, I mean, we lost about 44 cents there. So this is kind of a scratch. We scratched it. Yeah, that's too bad, man. Look at all this volume. This thing is just crazy. All right, we got a little bit of a bounce there. Higher lows. Little small-bodied candles. Man, is this going to be just one of those stocks that is just like so annoying to trade? Like all trades practically. Kind of has this this thing here. All right. What should we do? Let's give it another day. I feel like we're just going to pop up the next day. No, we're not. All right, we're going to go back down. Okay, let's keep giving it a little bit of time. All right, maybe we're coming down to some longer moving averages. Woo! Yeah, now really, we could have got this for sure. This is just not a normal pattern you want to see. You want to see like 1 or 2 days like this before a real breakout. Now, did you get higher lows? Yeah, you got flat lows. So I don't know. There was just, I wouldn't have taken it. You could have gotten this, but yeah, I'm not in it. Yeah, it did all right. I mean, you got a little bit of fall through. If you bought on this day, like around 790, you got a nice trade there. It went up 23% before pulling back to around the entry. Man, it is just it is very volatile. Main markets around June. This is when things definitely slowed down. We had that big down day on June 11th. Made new highs. Do you see a pattern in here? I mean, I see basically it keeps taking out the highs by a little bit and then dumps each time. The breakouts that are, it's a pullback stock basically at this point. You buy the pullback, buy the pullback, buy the pullback. But it might turn into a breakout stock here. Let's see if we can get some tight days. Because this is actually starting to look productive. Volume's falling off here. We're riding the 20, although it's ugly. Let's buy above 1050. So we're starting to get a little range in here. It's towards the highs. I think people are expecting it to come down here. We've had 3 pullbacks that have worked, each less so. Oh, we have a package or something. Each less so than the last. And you can kind of see these pullbacks. It is higher lows. So let's buy above 1050. All right, we bought the breakout. Let's put our stop at like 990. So let's do 60 cent risk. Maybe we had some earnings in here in June. I thought Thinkorswim would give us a little earnings bubble, but I'm not seeing one. Let's see. Looks like August 13th is the next earnings, which is going to be probably for March here. but maybe for June. I don't know. Maybe we missed March. So this would have been plus 32%. So this is earnings that are starting to improve, definitely. All right, but we're long, 990. We're risking 60 cents. I'm gonna put half exit like at 11.95. All right, we got there. Sweet. All right. So what was that? What did we get in at? We got in at 10.50, 11.95, $1.45 for our first bit, which is like 2.5 R for 50%. That's pretty good. And we'll trail the rest with the 10. This thing is so squirrely. I'm getting out if it violates the 10, but it's not. Look at that volume. Look at that up day. Just beautiful. Really beautiful. All right, we caught it. So let's think back. I mean, this is not a normal pattern. My thinking was, look, pullbacks are still working, but they worked for 3 times in a row, and they worked less good each time. I mean, you can see that this was a nice 35% run. This was a nice 30% run. And then this pullback was like an 18% run. So you can see that each time there's stronger and stronger buying. It goes down less and less. And maybe you're waiting for another pullback. I mean, you get this little pullback. This is the 4th pullback this day right here on low volume. And then it turned into a breakout stock. It went from pullback to breakout. It's just really, really interesting how stocks can change characters like that and fool people. Yeah, so let's just hold it. We're holding 50% as long as it doesn't close below the 10. All right, so it bounced off the 10 really weakly. Just not what I want to see. So I'm moving my stop up to 1330. So if it violates 1330, I'm out, or if it closes below the 10, I'm out. Might have done that. 1506 closed 1494. Yeah, so we closed 6 cents below the 10 there. All right, I'm out that day at the close of 1494. We got it at 1050. So 1494, that's 4 points and 45 cents. So that would be 7.5 R for our last half. Yeah, buddy. All right. What a great trade. 2.5 R for our first 50%, 7.5 R for our next 50%. You cannot complain about that. That was beautiful. And you could argue that maybe I exited too soon on that third day. I mean, it was the second day, but I was just like, this is so squirrely. I mean, each pop-up was getting sold off. So if I'd held that whole thing, I mean, yeah, way better trade, but good trade. All right, coming down. Good exit so far. All right, tried to rally there. All right, closed below the 20. Glad we used the 10. Wow. Coming all the way down to the 10, to the 50 and the 65. My goodness, that is quite the dive. Bouncing back up, coming back down. Yeah, that is quite... All right, now we're building the range. We got higher lows, and we got the same 1465 highs. So I'd like to see a little bit more sideways and then buy over 1460. Well, it's just going to go. All right. Wow. So look at this flag here. Is this something you would take? Should I have taken this? This isn't bad. I mean, this is higher lows. I wanted it to give a little bit more time for sure. But really, that was definitely tradable. And if you had, you'd be looking at such a solid winner. 1460. It's already hit 22. I mean, this is ridiculous growth. 63% growth. And it's getting very, very volatile. ADR is 10, 12, 13. It's getting crazy. Man, this dive was just brutal. All right, we're bouncing off the 20 there, cutting right back through the 20, coming down to the 50, bouncing off the 50. So let's see if we can get something else going here now that it's bouncing off the 50. It is below the 10 and 20. See if we get some kind of, no. Ooh, ugly. Really breaking hard. coming back. This is just a V bottom. Not really much there that we can trade. All right. Maybe getting something here. Nope. How is it looking for bulls? Like for people who are looking for, I mean, somebody who bought this little short breakout there, it sucked. Somebody who bought the 20, it was good for a day, then it sucked. Somebody who bought the 50, it was good for a day, then it sucked. You couldn't even buy the 100, but it just bounced off the 100. That was a decent, that was decent. That went up 50%. So maybe there was an hourly play in there that would have been good. We went right past the August earnings. Let's see. They beat by a cent on August 13th. What was August 13th? August 13th was in here. Oh, wow. Interesting. If I had known that, I mean, I didn't know that, but I wasn't paying attention, then this might have been more buyable just because after earnings, things tend to move. All right, we're bouncing again. Not getting much follow through, although getting follow through now. All right, we're super tight here. I feel like this might be a bit of a trap, but we are above all the moving averages. It's a momentum-y stock. We've come up 880%. My goodness. This might be a trap. This totally might be a trap, but let's buy over 1785. All right, we broke out there. We're going to get rid of half at 1930. So let's see, we had 1785. We're going to go 1930, and our risk is the low of this day, 1660. So our risk is $1.25. And we're going to go for half off at 1930, which would be about $1.50-ish. Yeah, $1.45. So we're kind of going for 1 hour, a little bit over 1 hour on our first half. I think that's good enough because this thing could just snap way back. Oh, man, that's not good. Our volume doesn't look good either. Yeah, I'm going to get out of half at the open of the next day, which is good. The open was 1788. So that was 3 cents above our entry. So just basically a scratch on our first half. And then we're probably going to get out of our next half at the close of the next day, below the 10 or below this bar. Guessing we're going to get stopped out. We did not get stopped out. Did we close below the 10? 1736, close 1744. We're still in. Close 1723. Okay, we're out there. So we're out for like a 50-cent loss. 60-cent loss on that part. So that's about we took about a half R loss here. Negative point R. So, all right. Let's see what happens. Yep, good exit. So it stopped out those breakouts. This was a trap, but it wasn't that bad of a trap. It didn't hurt us too bad. Whew. All right. Oh, man, this thing is getting just crazy. Oh, here. Now we have an earnings day the next day. Gap down on the earnings. Not good. That was in November. So that would have been reporting probably these right here, September 20. That was plus 55%. That is the peak. It goes plus 32%, plus 41%, plus 55%. So that was the peak of the earnings right here, and we gapped down. So it's probably not going to look good from here on out. Yeah. Oh, man, it keeps doing these crazy breakouts. Look at that. Was there something here that you wanted to take? I don't think so. This is not looking... That little consolidation broke out higher, then came down, then went up. Woo. Made new highs. All right, maybe something here. Man, it just never gets tight. It always just does these crazy bars. All right, this doesn't look too bad. Let's buy a breakout over 2650. I don't think this is going to work, but 2650, we're going for it. Ooh. That breakout actually looks better now. 2650 breakout looks better. Oh gosh, so it broke out lower and rallied in, and it could not rally it up at all. It couldn't rally to the top of this range. It actually closed below the 20 and then bounced. So I'm canceling my order. I don't want anything to do with this stock. It would have broken out there and we would have been stopped out probably that day. So good thing we canceled it. This is not your grandmother's breakout stock anymore. So we're into 2021 here. And this actually looks like a really nice pattern. But man, just that false breakout and going sideways. It's like all the volume has gone out of it too. Eesh. Man, that was it. That was the breakout day. See how it does. I mean, look at this pattern. This is a long flag, and it's not sideways. It's slightly down, but it's 29 bars, 30 bars or so. Whoa. All right, this was the one to buy. Had 2 giant up days, and now it's falling apart. All right, I think we're good. Wow, this was the one. This is the one to buy. 85% in like 5 days. Yeah, this was it. I don't know. Is this a pattern you would want to take? We did hit the 50 there. Maybe I was going too fast through it, but not terrible. Not terrible. This would have been a good play. This was in February. This was right around when all the GameStop stuff was happening. I don't know. What do you guys think? Write in the comments. Would you have taken this? This is in some ways picture perfect. I didn't like the fact that it didn't keep going sideways here. I didn't like that it just kept going lower, but that ended up working, and I think that was the top. Yeah, pretty much the top. Just down, 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 until here we are today. You can see. This was kind of like a GameStop thing in some ways. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you guys learned a little bit something about AEYE. We had a really good trade. We had one trade where we took half off at 2.5R and the other half off at 7.5R. Then we had a scratch, and then we had a negative 0.5R. So we were actually profitable on this trade for sure. Would you have taken different trades here? Would you have maybe taken this one, or would you have taken this one here? This was one that I was kind of like, man, after this day, I just wanted one more sideways day. But I mean, because we had 3 up days in a row, I just wanted one more sideways day, and then it would have been, but it didn't wait. No, the real winner here for us was this one here, which does not look like a normal pattern, but it did work out really well. So, all right, guys, thanks so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Oh, subscribe. Do all that subscribe things and like things and all that fun stuff at the bottom if you can. And I appreciate you. Talk to you soon.